Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday night. Alex Jones here in the podcast room, in the breaking news room with Owen Schroyer. We have huge breaking news. You guys might want to cut that mic. We're in here with a limited crew tonight because right as we were all about to leave after the war room ended, Mitch McConnell got his car surrounded with his wife. People were screaming, threatening them. His wife got out, confronted them. They got in her face. And then we went and looked at the Democratic websites. They call it the hunt. So they have this whole fake movie about the purge where imaginary white people are killing black people. That's out this week to push this whole race war narrative. But they're now calling it the hunt. And we've got the raw video up on Infowars.com and Newswars.com. But this is in the whole backdrop of kidnap Barron and rape him, kill Trump's family, attack conservatives. If anybody's a Trump voter, they're a Nazi. Attack them. This is Maxine Waters saying all this. We'll play some of the audio and video coming up here, but they're going to their homes, they're following them around, and they're calling it the hunt. So this is the pure intimidation and gangster mafia tactics that these individuals are engaging in 1 year after they shot Scalise, 1 year after they've done all this stuff. And it's crazy. These are foreign multinational banks. The communist Chinese have come in and bought up Hollywood, the media. They thought this country was done. And now we're bringing it back from the dead. The economy's turning around. All this is happening, and they are running around after establishment types like Mitch McConnell, who they think are weak. So, Owen Schroyer, you just entered the war room like 15 minutes ago. You ran in here right as I was ending a live transmission on them wanting to firebomb Steven Crowder here in Texas, the Democratic Party event, saying, here's his truck, here's his vehicle, here it is, come firebomb him. The Democrats line up and say, no, we agree with firebombing him. We're in a war. They want to abort every baby they can, but they care about the illegal aliens coming in and then lie about Trump and separating a little girl. That was a hoax. You've got Tom Arnold with hoaxes about Trump's lawyer about to go public. I mean, these people are clearly going into a new level of convulsion. Phil Mudd of the CIA is back on TV saying they're going to kill Trump. They're openly saying they're going to overthrow the country. I mean, what do we do with a group of criminal weirdos like this? We're going to go through all these clips in a moment, but Owen Schroyer.
Well, I don't know what we're supposed to do. I mean, we are not the ones instigating violence. We're not the ones going to Democrat events and looking for Democrat cars and family members to harass them. We've never called for that. So for me, Alex, the biggest thing, I don't even understand where they're coming from. I don't understand their psychology.
Well, they're pissed America's coming back. They want a Cloward and Piven to break us all. They've been paid off. They're just weak-minded people that still think mainstream media is cool.
Well, I think what we have to do is what we're doing. We have to document every time something like this happens. We have to document.
Well, now it's 50 times a day. They're at Miller's house threatening him, saying, wanted, we're going to get you, Nazi. They're screaming Nazi at everybody when they're funded by a no-Nazi collaborator, George Soros. It's just crazy.
So what do we do, Alex? I mean, you have a family dinner tonight. You have a nice meat steak sitting on your table right now, and you're here documenting it. That's what we have to do. That's why we're doing this. That's why when I came in and I was like, hey, Mitch McConnell just had his car surrounded. They confronted his wife. You were like, all right, we got to document it. We got to do another live broadcast. So the one thing we have to do is document it. That way.
And I'm going to predict something. Well, go ahead. Keep going.
Well, I was going to say that way, whenever they do take things to the next level, that way, whenever they do take things to, hopefully we don't get there, but to a violence level consistently, we can say, hey, look, you're the ones that started this. You're the ones that have been leading up to this. And it just went into my mind seeing this clip of Mitch McConnell in the car and Elaine Chao, his wife, saying, leave my husband alone. It made me think back to the Charlottesville protests and riots where you have the guy who's sitting in his car and a bunch of leftist crazies come up to the car. They're banging on the car. They're surrounding the car. He freaks out, backs out. Heather Heyer ends up dying. Okay. That's what they're going to do.
Exactly. They're trying to stampede us into a reaction. This is total desperation because America's coming back and their whole religion is hating America because they're run by foreign multinational corporations. Their whole operating system is hating America, and they're losers, they're followers, so that's what they follow. And so you've got them at Mitch McConnell's house. You've got them at Paul Ryan's house, even though they're servants of the system. You've got them wanting to kill the Trump family, wanting to kidnap their family. You've got them wanting to do all this while whining and bitching. But here's the thing. The red hen's going bankrupt. No one's in there. they're now backing off. Every attack you launch with pedo Fonda, I don't know if he's a pedophile, but he says you don't want to kidnap Trump's son and rape him or have pedos rape him. Everything you do blows up, but you're all the mindless zombies of the system marching in to do this. But here's the deal. Soros documents we published them. They want martial law. They want civil unrest. They want a crisis. You've got Bill Maher saying, let's sabotage the economy. Let's bring down America. They're clearly doing this because they know they're losing. And I'm going to make a prediction right now. Mitch McConnell has been on the fence. Mitch McConnell goes the way the wind blows. But let me tell you, just like Hitler had 80% of the British in polls, even after Dunkirk, even after he ran their force out of France, 80% in polls or more didn't want a war because they'd lost 3 million Brits in World War I. Something like 8 million Austrian Hungarians. That was the German Empire. And they didn't want to do it. I mean, most people had lost family or had people with their arms and legs blown off or no faces, nerve gas, you name it. I mean, it was a tough war. And Hitler then put out a decree, and it's been declassified. He said, I believe if we target civilian targets, they'll even roll over more. He didn't get that they don't want a war because they were sad about what had happened. It wasn't their wimps. They didn't want a war. And as soon as he bombed the targets, it went 95% war. Let's kill. And that's what they don't get. They think we're like them. They think that they intimidate us and threaten us. You just converted Mitch McConnell. His wife is done. You watch that video. You're converting everyone. You think we're cowards like you. You think what you've done to me and my family makes me want to back down. It makes me want to fight 1,000% forever and never give in, no matter what happens, because I know what sacks of crap you are and that goddamn Nazi collaborator Soros that runs your asses. You are the filth of the earth, and you will lose. You don't have the Germans and 80 million people in high technology for the day. You're a much lesser enemy than the Nazis. But just like the Nazis, you will get your asses handed to you, all of you. So keep pushing because you're all going to pay. Owen?
Well, the average Democrat and the average liberal doesn't want to see America burn to the ground.
They're just cowardly virtue signaling people.
But not even that. The left is going so far to the left that centrist, center-left people are being forced.
This is in the left's own words, a corporate-funded Maoist uprising. They believe that model to the universities is it.
Well, and the craziest part about it is they're the ones behaving like Nazis.
Well, look at most of these leftists. Most of them look like they can't find their ass with both hands. I mean, I'm not being mean. They are literally retarded, dumb idiots.
But this is a misery loves company situation. Whatever's going on in their life that makes them miserable, they blame America for it, and so they want America to burn.
So get the hell out. Tell us you don't want us in your restaurants. Put a symbol on that Christians, gun owners, veterans, we don't, please, assholes, we don't want to be around you either, you goddamn filth. You frickin' blue state failures that are collapsing your own cities everywhere and rushing in to feed on us. God damn you. And you know we're awake to you, so you want to gang rape mentally our children and teach them how to be cocksuckers.
Well, let's see what happens with the owner of that Red Hen restaurant. I have a feeling that if people go a little bit deeper into her background, I wouldn't be shocked if she maybe has some political ties there.
Oh, really? Absolutely. So here's my deal. These are mentally ill followers. These are all grovelers. They just supine in front of mainstream media when it's been dead for a decade. But we're going to play these video clips. But I'm just asking you, the fact that don't you agree with me? The fact that they think their intimidation works doesn't do anything?
I think it's the Mockingbird Tokyo Rose press that gives them that confidence, Alex. They don't understand us. They don't even we're so dehumanized to them that it really doesn't matter that we're tougher than them. It really doesn't matter that we're more accomplished, better looking, whatever have you. Okay, it doesn't matter we could win in a fight. They go to the Tokyo Rose media, the Mockingbird media. That's where they get their confidence.
Japan had been nuked. And they were still saying they'd won. It's like Baghdad Bob in Iraq.
Yeah, so Tokyo Rose, after the bombs were dropped in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, went on air telling the Japanese people, we just won the war. It's a propaganda stunt. That's like what they're doing now. The Democrat media complex saying, Trump's a Hitler. The Washington Post last night had a story. You won't believe this. Headline, Trump's approval rating plummets. His approval rating is higher than it's ever been, and those are rigged polls. And yet the Washington Post prints that out. That is the Tokyo Rose media. So we're already dehumanized to them. They've already been brainwashed. They don't even understand us. They never will. They don't want to. They just go to the Tokyo Rose lapdog media, and that's how they get their jollies. It's like a hit of crack cocaine.
It's like a false reality. Exactly. They just go laugh at us and everything. And we just want them to be prosperous. We just want to have a country and not, I mean, it's so insane. Remember Baghdad Bob, even worse, Tokyo Rose. The U.S. is in, and it wasn't even for that war, but it's invading Baghdad. Bombs are going off behind him like a mile. And he's like, we have won. They're kicked out to Kuwait, and it's like, it's the same thing.
Well, it doesn't stop there. How about CNN pretending they're in, where was it? Iraq or Iran? It's skipping my head.
Iraq in 1991. They said
they're in a basement in Atlanta, and you have Charles Jaco claiming that he's overseas getting bombed. That's CNN. So why are they running a political stunt? Why are they running political propaganda? That's what this is all about. But Alex, I think that the average American is starting to see it. And even if they don't agree with Trump or even agree with our political views, I think that they see the madness.
Well, they know the globalists were blocking recovery and controlling things to break America. So they're like, why do you get in the way of prosperity? Why are you? I mean, Trump's like, China, you can still screw us with 500 billion in screw jobs. Just give us a little bit of factories. And that's why people are so pissed. They're like, what is the deal here? And it's like, they created this anti-American group of people to serve the globalists, and they can't stop. And their whole religion wasn't even success or life. It was flyover country and pissing in the face of Americans. And that's it. The leftists don't think of themselves as Americans.
No, they hate America.
They see themselves as ruling class brain bots, but they're not brain bots. They're just corporate political shills, dumbasses. And that's what's crashing in as they realize their whole investment, their 3-4 fake degrees, none of it means anything. The right wing doesn't hate you because you're gay. We don't hate you because whatever. We're not, it's all, I'm not even right wing. They now, as it all crashes in that none of it's true what they said about us, what do they do next? Because like Hitler bombing London, they have crossed the Rubicon, man. This crap about violence and revolution and overthrow stuff, it's everyone is listening to us now because they know we told them.
Well, and there's two things that are happening right now, which is we have to understand that people are being, they see what's going on with the violent left. So we really, I mean, to steal the phrase from Michelle Obama, I mean, we kind of have to go high. We have to find out how we go high while they're going low. But the same personification, like look at the Time magazine photo with the girl crying, right? Okay.
Total fabrication.
That's what America is to them, Alex. They think America's white supremacy, slave blocks, racism.
When it's the only global elite that ever, Christianity-wise, even if it wasn't fully Christian, said, let's give everyone power. It's the West and white people, and I'm not kissing white people's ass, we got plenty of problems, that actually tried to be inclusive. And the globalists use that against us. They use our inclusiveness. They are the KKK. They are the Democrats. They are the assholes. They're the ones that want death panels. They're the ones that set up abortuaries in the minority communities, man. God, good Lord.
So they don't even know or understand what America is. They have a false idea of America.
And it's not like I'm perfect, but exactly. Before God, I want to be a good person. And they take that as weakness, man. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, here's what Trump needs to do if he wants to have the 116th Congress actually be a real Congress and not this fake Congress, the 115th Congress that we've been dealing with. I'm serious, Alex. I think we need to abolish electronic voting machines because they'll use that. You don't think that they'll?
Oh, they stole 6 states. We blocked them in 5. Trump barely won, even though he had a tsunami victory.
You think? I mean, I just don't. I understand that a lot of American people out there are ignorant, but I don't believe they're that ignorant to have Eric Swalwell and Adam Schiff and Maxine Waters.
If you'll see the Democrats say we're going to overthrow Trump, we're going to arrest conservatives, we're going to end free speech, and the WikiLeaks rigging everything, of course they're going to do it. But that's why they're panicking, because the tsunami for Trump, I mean, even with 15% over sampling for Democrats, Trump's 5 points ahead. But Jesus, he's 20 points ahead. That's why they're panicking. They're not going to let us have an election in November, brother. I'm telling you, they're not going to. So what do we do? What do we do?
Well, I think Trump has to, I mean,
Trump.
Do we let them
Let's just
take
say
the first shot?
I was asked Wednesday, And I thought it was like I don't think it's a tactic, but I was like, really, you're asking me what to do there? And they were like, yeah, no,
What's going to be Lexington and Concord?
POTUS wants to know what you think because you've been so accurate. And I'm just like, it gave me a headache for like 5 days. I don't know what you do against people that don't want freedom. They want the act of raping America in the ass and feeling powerful because Stephen Colbert said so, and calling people Nazis that beat the Nazis. It's like here's the paradox. We create all this liberty, we create all this freedom, and then these weak slime balls get in, and then they're mad at the very freedom we created and then turn it against us. So I don't know what we do. Owen, I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do.
What is going to be Lexington and Concord? What is going to be Fort Sumter? You know, we'll go to this video clip with Elaine Chao, and I think, Alex, you hit it on
That's
the head
wife of
Mitch McConnell, where they're getting their car surrounded by these radical liberals. But, Alex, I think that the moment is the realization, like you said in the video of Elaine Chao, she's done. Like, you guys took the mask off. You showed who you really are. So middle of the road Americans, which was probably honestly 60% of Americans at this point,
they don't get coming to her house and screaming at her. It's over.
Like that's
like messing with dudes' wives. What do you think happens? Women go war. Like women go war. The minute you mess with women, they tell men war.
It's like what you were saying on air the other day.
It's not that women can't be in combat. They get so violent and aggressive. That's why you don't put them in it. The minute you mess with people, that's why they keep women out of war. They go, war. Let's just have war.
I don't want to go out and be a part of some political experiment every night by wearing a Trump hat and a Trump shirt. I don't want to face that when I go out.
I don't either, but you have to.
But that's what I'm saying. Now it's like, okay, if you want to take the mask off, if you really want to take the mask off, then we'll play the part. And Alex, I was thinking about this today. And I don't know if this is
Trump thought he could just give them prosperity and show how the foot was on our neck. And they would go, oh, thank you. No, they don't. They're like, no, we don't want success.
Think about
it's like Jesus saying, I'm going to give you all this eternal. And they go, no, we don't want that. We want Barabbas. Go ahead.
Think about Donald Trump going in, knowing this is a suicide mission, Alex.
Oh, he knows that.
Well, we've reached a point. I can't believe that I'd never thought about this. I've never heard you say this. Maybe you said it and I missed it. But right now, if they shot Donald Trump in the head, if President Trump gets assassinated, Alex, who investigates that? The FBI.
The very same people that...
The very same people that said they'd stop him. The very same people that said they'd have an insurance plan. The very same people that said Obama wanted to know all about that. So we have a current situation where if President Trump gets assassinated, the very group of people behind trying to meddle and keep him out of office is going to be the group in charge of the investigation, the same group that was in charge of the JFK assassination that lied about that. You think they're going to tell you what happened to President Trump? You think they're going to be honest? They're going to cover up the whole frickin' thing.
And here's the thing. They're crazy enough to do it thinking this is 1963. And that's what concerns me because I don't want to hurt Mueller or Hillary. These are sacks of crap. These are maggot bags. But if they do that, there's no way that's the thing. It's all Pyrrhic victories. Even if they kill Trump or kill us, there's no way they win.
Well, I don't see how they win in the long run other than just killing everybody. I mean, just,
Well, that's in the works to release a bioweapon after Trump's killed as the cover for all this. But I want to assure everybody in Lanai and Kauai and in Switzerland and in Tasmania, everybody knows, and I'm not just saying this, your own security, the minute bioweapons are released, your own security is going to take you for a walk that you're never going to want to wake up from. So, and that's not talk. See, they don't understand it. They've had us blind so long, Owen, that they still think they're operating like we're asleep. They don't get it. We're awake.
Well, and the average person doesn't understand how real this is. They may agree with most of what we say, and then they may think this is where we get fringe. I'm sitting up thinking about this last night, and I'm like, dang, I need to get a gas mask. Like, I'm serious. I'm like, I'm going to have a gas mask for my own safety. I mean, I got weapons for my own security. I got emergency food. I got emergency water. Why don't I have an emergency gas mask?
But that's the thing. You watch leftists walk over, like that guy that walks over and hits somebody in the head and goes, and they hit back. They go, I'm a tranny. They think it's all like,
It's like, yeah, I'm about to make you a tranny. You're gonna.
But that's what I'm saying. It's all simulated. It's like they're gonna hit you, but you're not gonna hit back. They don't get it. Like for decades we've been waiting, and they think that's talk. They're like, we don't want to kill people.
I don't even want to fight the average leftist on the street. I just want you to expose yourself as an idiot.
They don't even know how to kill. That's like they're like starting a fight with death.
It's their own destruction, and they're being walked into their own destruction. They're literally being walked into their own destruction, and they don't even get it.
Exactly, and I don't feel any pleasure in what's about to happen to them, but I'm sure of it now. They're going to move this late summer, and with Mueller stuff, that they can't help it, man. You look at Brennan, and you look at all those guys. Those guys are mental patients, man. They can't stop, Owen. So
Neither can the media. The media can't stop pushing it either. They refuse to. They could have stopped this. They could have said, don't be violent. They went the other way, Alex.
Even though all the prosperity and everything, and Trump gave them chances, they've had, Giuliani goes on TV and says, we just want to stop this now. Just let America be prosperous. Please stop. But if you want to fight, we're going to destroy you. And they can't stop. Just like the Japanese, when we had to drop atomic bombs on them, or the Nazis, they don't get it till they're getting bayoneted.
And now what do you do? I mean, do you try to get out ahead of this? Are you preemptive?
I just know that this is their last chance, and we're going to drop A-bombs on them. Big boy, little boy, fat man, whatever you call them. I mean, the thing is, I take no pleasure. Like, I've got a dog that craps in the yard. I don't want to step in the crap. Like, I'm beating them to step on them. I mean, I want to just get around these people, but they're not going to let us on. So they want to.
Well, here's the thing. There's going to be a situation here. It will be the modern day Lexington and Concord. It will be the modern day Fort Sumter. And one of these leftists that's radicalized is going to pick a fight with the wrong person. And,
And see, Santa Claus isn't real in the classical sense, but there's patriot Santa Clauses that have made a list and checked it twice. And they know who's naughty and nice. So they don't want to go down this road. But once they know it starts, there's no fear. There's victory.
Well, they have nothing else to live for. Let's be perfectly honest. If it goes hot, which I'm still hoping it doesn't, again, reaching an olive branch out to the average liberal, the average leftist, let's at least come together for peace and not for civil war. We can debate our politics. But I think that, unfortunately, there's such a fringe element of the radicalized left right now that has nothing. They don't believe.
Well, they haven't tasted death yet.
They probably haven't tasted anything.
Probably historically, their whole family line never fought. So there's no even genetic memory. That's why they're actually searching for that.
But like, have they ever felt love? Have they ever felt a woman? Have they ever tasted a properly cooked steak? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, do they get any enjoyment out of life? It looks like it's just all hatred.
No, because they're fallen. They take pleasure in destroying us, Owen. And that's why they've got to pay.
That's ultimately what this comes down to.
And so, like, night following day, man, the ocean meeting the river, they're going to have to get hurt bad.
Well,
I mean, maybe they can turn back, but see, they think this is all some poetic thing to get them to back down. They haven't tasted their head slamming into concrete till the lights go out. They don't know what it's like to have their face driven into concrete.
Well, we have principles and we don't have double standards. Therefore, we're not calling for Trump to become a dictator or an authoritarian to do something.
Oh my God, I'd call for his overthrow. He's doing the opposite.
Exactly. And we don't call, which I quite honestly, I think that this is what should be called for, is these people need to be put in mental institutions. We closed them all in the 90s. I think it's time to reopen them. But we don't do that. Because we're not authoritarians. We don't have double standards. We have principles. It's about freedom, independence, and liberty. So we don't say, Trump, please lock these people up. Trump, please. But here's what, honestly, this is what Trump could do that I think would be peaceful and would send the whole thing into a tizzy. He needs to come out and sign an executive order. And the executive order needs to say it is no longer, you cannot discriminate for political beliefs. And then what he does, Alex, and this is the genius part, you come out and you say, you're not allowed to discriminate against someone for political beliefs. But then he says he blames his supporters.
No, I watched the show today.
He says, my supporters are out there kicking people out of restaurants, harassing them at their homes. And he comes out and says that, obviously all untrue. Then the left can't.
The left has no soul, so they'll attack him and say, no, we're the ones doing that.
Bingo. And then they've been trapped. And then where do they go?
It's just, here's the thing, man. These people, they just know to bow down. They don't have, there's nothing there. And it's a projection. They want eugenics to kill all the dumb people. They want to die. And I don't want them to die. I just want them to know they're not going to win. All right, so let's play a few of these clips. This is the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, and his wife being confronted at their house by a bunch of thugs following the orders of Maxine Waters. And I love like Schumer acting like, oh, we're not for this. Oh, but do it. Like they think this is what's going on. This is next level. So let's play a few of these clips. Here it is.
God, our government does such a great job of intervening in the Middle East.
I mean, look at these people.
This is their only deliverance in life ever. They've never chased a woman they were attracted to. They've never cooked a meal, had a garden.
Well, they're bullying a woman. We want open borders, no vetting, even though every other country has it. You horrible Asian woman, they're saying.
I'm glad Elaine Chao's standing up and pointing at them.
So the point is they're getting together as people and they're going to people's houses. But at least on the video, they're not calling for the rape of Barron.
Well, like you said, Alex, how do you think these people get this information? Who do you think is running these operations? How are they getting this intel?
They just get told Facebook, here's their house school, and they just go,
Bingo. You put all your information on Facebook, you put all your information on Twitter, they go into that file system, bing, they got it all, and they give it to their minions.
Zuckerberg says, my supporters are dumb Fs. He sits back, he tells Merkel, we'll defeat, European sovereignty. They're completely arrogant. Oh, and so this is not in a vacuum. There's all the other behavior. If I was the left, I'd stage false flags against myself. What do you think?
Well, we just had that video surface of the woman, crazed racist woman, calling the Mexican or Latino. I don't really know what that guy's story is, but, she's berating him. That whole thing looks staged to me. I don't know if it is or not.
They've just staged like 98% of everything else. But
it'll probably come out, but we don't know that yet. We'll find out.
But it doesn't
that's
matter.
The kind of stuff
if there's one crazy racist white lady, that's par for the course. The point is, why is the media pushing this?
Again, we'll wait and find out the truth about that. But that's what they're going to do, Alex. That's what they're going to do. The narrative is now they're the violent ones. They're the insane ones. So they have to do something to twist that. So they're going to stage some event to make it look like a hate crime committed by a conservative.
No, I agree. I mean, I'm not saying, I said people should go guard the red hen because if I was the globalist, that makes perfect sense to false flag that.
Yeah, and then you catch it on tape. Like you said, you follow them, you find out who they are, and then it's over.
So what happens to Soros and Alexander Soros and all of them, they're in their own documents admitting they want civil war in America. What do they do as all over Europe, all over the world, all over Latin America, all over Africa, people realize what's happening? What do they do as humanity turns against them, just wanting prosperity?
George Soros will probably just die. He'll probably just perish like an old spouse dies usually within a month or two of their.
I agree. As his satanic order fails, Satan will release him.
And I think that's why you're starting to see some of these deaths. I'm not going to name names. You know who they are. But Alex Soros,
David Rockefeller,
is a different situation. He's what if he chooses to stick around, I think that he'll probably just kind of be publicly shamed out of America. And where does he go after that? He can't go to Hungary where his father was born and has been totally rebuked. So I don't know. But that's good. He probably has a private island somewhere he can go hang out on with Obama if he's not in jail. So that's where we're at, though.
Owen's good, isn't he?
Right there.
No, I agree.
On the brink.
The thing is that they all live to control things, and they think because we're being honest and we're being judicious and we're being restrained and we're being kind that we're weak. And they don't get like once this stuff starts, man, it's like white light. I mean, the Patriots and everybody. I mean, they are so locked and loaded and ready, but it won't do anything to smash the little Satanist globalists because the spirit of the devil will just inhabit other people right after them. They're like They're like shark teeth. It's why we've got to get the general public to awaken and love God. That's how you beat it. You can't just wipe out the leadership of these Satanists because they've always got another group ready. And as much as I, want to see that kind of stuff at a level, I'm telling you, we beat them spiritually. And that's why I was talking to some of the guests today, Mike Cernovich and others. And they were saying, and that's what I tried to do, was like, hey, let's have some dinner together when they were calling me a Nazi or whatever when I'm on vacation. And they don't want it. That's what pisses them off. But I'm like genuine, like, hey, come have a hamburger. Let's talk about this. No, police, because it doesn't fit into their narrative. So Soros will deal with himself. His son will deal with himself. All these sons of Satan, these people that are literally part of that church, the Crowleyites, they're their own thing. I agree. We have to defeat them, block them, but not give them the power that we even hate them. They're just aberrant disease.
But it's like a spider or a scorpion after you've kind of squashed it already and it knows it's dying. So in its final, breaths, it's like squirming around and flailing all over the place. And that's what's going on. They know they're losing spiritually. They know they're losing culturally. They know that even politically with votes and with the real voting system, that they had no chance. So I think that's why they're really starting to come out of their shell now. You combine that with the midterms coming up in November.
Which they know they're going to lose.
Except for maybe they have the electronic voting machines rig it for them, which they do all the time. But overall, they can't win. I don't see how they take Congress. I
agree. And as I said, I predict a lot of these people were trying to play it easy and just trying to be left alone. But even most people that aren't pure evil, but they're corrupt, you start messing with them, they want to fight. And I predict, and see, I should not be so honest, because they take what they say and they listen. The enemy listens, but it doesn't matter. I just tell the truth. I can't help it. The attempt to intimidate everybody is going to blow up, man. They think America and our DNA is about backing down. God almighty. Oh, my God. I mean, I'm so ready for war. God, it's so much easier.
Well, I guess we'll find out how chicken-necked Mitch McConnell really is or not tomorrow. See if he has anything to say about Maxine Waters encouraging harassment of him and his family.
I watched the video. It's war. And these people don't even get who their own allies are. And that's the thing. They're so stupid, Owen. They're so fundamentally dumb. They can't, in North Korea, they can't build an automobile. They don't even have toilet paper.
There was a pride
And then
parade.
the left's like, oh, I want my North Korea, National Health Service.
There was a pride parade in San Francisco over the weekend, Alex. They all ended up fighting with one another. I mean, the average attendee of a pride parade is probably a leftist, probably hates Trump.
I was told by a really smart top lawyer, he said, Alex, don't worry about all these fake suits. He goes, the left is mentally ill. And he says all they do is fight with each other. That they can't help it. These are kids that piss in their bed every night just to make mommy mad.
Or just piss in their diaper because they're too lazy to go to the bathroom or something.
Well, no, you're fundamentally right about these people. And that's what I'm saying and that's the paradox. Because liberty produces the largesse that allows them to be created. So in a way, liberty created this. So how do you answer that question?
Liberty's the answer.
But I agree. But it creates a vacuum where these parasites persist.
Well, maybe humanity just has to look itself in the mirror and say, am I too greedy? Do I lust too much? Is that what has driven this culture to this point? Do I need to retreat? I'm actually working on a report. This was one of the social media guys here, Lewis's idea. I haven't even talked to you about this, but I'm going to start working on this report. I'm taking a EMF frequency reader, and I'm going to go around town to the cell phone towers. And I'm just going to map it out. And I'm going to show these people, look, you realize you're getting blasted with cell phone radiation here that the government says could cause cancer? This is the stuff that all of us.
Yeah, this isn't black or white. This is radiation. This is real. Exactly. That's genius. Oh, and you're a godsend. The audience appreciates you. I really
thank you, Alex.
You.
Thank you.
Great job, the crew. Go home and see everybody. Can't say your wives or husbands because that's hateful. Go home and see your Z's or whatever.
Your pink
50% off on the fluoride-free toothpaste, fortified with iodine and colloidal silver, and if you find us, we'll move on. Whatever.
Yeah, this crew's been here, 12 hours today, still working?
They're a great crew. So Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. And we're on the march. The empire's on the run. And we'll have more for you as it unfolds. Thank you all for joining us.